Malaika Jabali is the author of a new book. It's not you, it's capitalism, why it's time to break up and how we move on. She's also senior news and politics editor at Essence Magazine. She joins us on Zoom from Atlanta. Malaika, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you.
This is not just, we say book, but it's like not just like any other book. I mean,
No.
This has got some great illustrations in it. It's got some really cool charts. It's got some Drake in there as well. It's awesome.
You keep that. Great.
It's
Yeah.
very, very
It's digestible
cool.
too.
It is
it's
totally
just the way
digestible.
You kind of lay it out.
But I want to know about capitalism. What drew you to questioning capitalism?
Well, you guys kind of hinted at it. It was a lot of things. I had a foundation in these organizations and movements in the South, of all places, where Black people were questioning it. If you look at where our economy really was founded upon in the South and really the entire country, it was based on Black labor. It was based on free Black labor. And that is how we have capitalism today. And so you had these groups in the South who were looking at our role in this entire system. And we just haven't seen any system, we haven't seen it thrive without that kind of exploitation, even if you look, beyond the slave trade, if you look beyond plantation slavery. So that was sort of underpinning, I think, just my being open to be critical of the system. But I'm a millennial. Like, I lived in New York City. I was studying securities regulation of all things at Columbia Law School. I was studying primarily at the School of Social Work at Columbia. But literally, the class was about looking at the financial crisis, where we got diverted from the core syllabus because Wall Street was falling apart. So we were reading newspaper article after newspaper article. It really became more like a doom scrolling, newspaper session, but it wasn't scrolling at the time. We're flipping through the pages about all these financial industries that were just going underwater. And even then, it was based on targeting, low income families. So I think I started to make the connections between what we were experiencing on like a day-to-day and the regulations and the policy and the legal infrastructure behind it.
So all capitalism, in your view, bad?
Fundamentally, it's bad. And I think we also have to unpack what we mean by capitalism. There are small business owners. We would consider that, the petty bourgeoisie just owning a small business and make you bad. I don't think inherently. I think what the critique is really about is that you have a system that incentivizes exploiting labor as much as possible. It incentivizes getting as much profit as you can off of people as possible. So not every person who owns a business is going to do that, but the system does incentivize that. So if you are operating that way, it's logical to do those things because that's how you survive in a capitalist economy.
Malaika, what would you say to someone who said, okay, well, capitalism isn't perfect, but it's the best system that's out there? What would you say to that?
I think we can do better.
What's better?
This is America, where we believe in exceptionalism. I think we can do better. Why not get excellence? Why are we settling for just okay? Again, the book is, or if you could glean from the title, it's looking at our toxic relationships. And we often think, what, this is the best that I can do. I haven't had better in the past. That's depressing. If we think that a system where we have not seen wage growth keep up with production in 50 years is the best we can do, I don't believe that. Do we really believe this is a system where you have so much poverty and homelessness, where healthcare outcomes are among the worst, if not the worst in many metrics compared to other industrial countries? I think we can get much better than that.
Well, like a listener saying, are you going to share your book profits?
Well, I don't. I think first people should understand how book deals work. I don't have profits. I'm getting a loan in order to make this book be produced. And if I were to get profits, I would love to share them. There is an organization I work with called Operation Power. I would love to give, once I get profits, if that happens. So y'all got to buy the book in order for me to get profits to share. It's a social justice organization that I've worked with, and I'd like to give them some profits. There's all kinds of organizations that I would love to give money to if that's how book deals work.
Is there a country in the world that is doing this well that you would model a system after?
Yeah, I would say actually the United States has a lot of vestiges of that before socialism and socialists were alienated and surveilled and killed in many ways. But we have what's called the Wisconsin School of Economics coming out of UW Madison. There was an economist who was a socialist named John Commons who brought us the modern day, or his school of thought brought us the modern day Social Security that we have. Through that work, we have workers' compensation. Through that work, we were able to have, 5-day work weeks and workers insurance, workplace insurance, unemployment insurance. So this school of thought really countered what was happening with the Chicago School of Economics, where it was very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And so in UW Madison, they really wanted to center labor. So a lot of these economists ended up working under FDR, doing his New Deal regulations and administration, and working on his laws to create the laws that we have right now. So I think we just need to keep up the work that we had started on that we abandoned.
We've unfortunately run out of time. Malaika, I hope you come back because I'd love to continue this conversation because I think it's a provocative one, an interesting one, considering I think about Peter Atwater and the K-shaped recovery,
Yeah.
and we talk about the gaps and the inequities where not everybody enjoys in kind of the fruits, if you will, whether it's the public markets or sharing in the profits of companies. But I feel like we've got to go a little bit more deeper. So come back soon, Malaika. Jabali, she is the author of a new book. It's Not You, It's Capitalism, Why It's Time to Break Up and How to Move On. She's also senior news and politics editor at Essence Magazine, joining us on Zoom from Atlanta. You are listening and watching Bloomberg